In this lesson, we'll work with the fin properties on our bones so we can approximate the volume of our character's legs. We'll also work on a bone that will drive our character's toe bend. Now, before we get to the fins, remember we did mirror our right chain. And as you can see, Max does a pretty good job at renaming them so we know that they're mirrored bones. But we always want to stay organized. And we always want to add clarity to our rig. So rather than labeling this mirrored, what I'd actually like to do is go down this chain and rename it so it matches the right side. So for this thigh, for example, instead of L, let's go ahead and rename that to R, and we'll get rid of the mirrored. Okay, so it's as simple as that, adding more clarity. We'll go to the next bone. Again, instead of L, that is going to be R, and we'll remove mirrored. Let's do the same for the shin. And we just have a few more here. Move on to the ankle. Then our ball bone. And then finally the end nub. Okay, great. So now that these things have been renamed, let's go ahead and work on our fins for these bones. And again, that's going to help us get a good understanding of the volume in the legs, or the volume throughout our character as we apply fins. So if we were to ever hide our mesh, we still get a good idea of the size of our character. So starting with our left side, we'll select that first bone. We'll head over to our bone tools, and we'll want to open up our fin adjustment tools. Okay, going to that rollout, we can now turn on our side fins. And with that, let's say we go ahead and start to decrease its size to bring it in. So now we have a good idea of at least the volume in the sides. And what we can do from here is actually turn on our front fins. It's actually going to show up at the back in this case. And I think that looks pretty good for its size. So now let's say we move on to the knee. Again, turn on the side fins, adjust the size, turn on the front fins, and I think that looks just fine. Alright, we move on now to the shin. Again, side fins. Definitely have to bring these in. But if you like them like that, that's totally fine. No complaints. Okay, from there we'll turn on the front fins, and we'll want to bring up this end taper so it fits better in our character's leg. Alright, great. Let's say now we move on to the ankle, turn on the side fins. Can bring those in. Then we can go to our front fin, turn that on. You can see that this end taper is protruding through our geometry. That's not too good. Let's go ahead and adjust that. We'll bring that up. In this case, I'd say about a value of 47 would work. Okay, so that looks good. For the ball bone, we'll just go ahead and turn on the side fins. And we'll bring that in. Great. Okay, so now it's a matter of doing the same thing to the right side. But notice, look, right at the top here, under our fin adjustment tools, we have the ability to copy and paste our values. So that's going to save us a lot of time here. Let's go ahead and select that left bone. We'll go ahead and copy its values. Now watch what happens if we go ahead and paste. Being that this chain was mirrored, of course, we're going to have this mirrored effect in our display. So all we need to do here is just turn off the front fin, turn on the back fin. It's a lot better than redoing everything, right? Alright, so let's say we go to the next bone. We go ahead and copy that. Go to the right side, paste. Turn off the front fin, use the back fin. We'll go to the next, copy that, paste, turn off the front fin, go to the back, and again we need to bring up that end taper. So we could use that value there of 61. Alrighty. Okay, so from here, we'll go ahead and do the same for the ankle. We'll copy, paste, use the back fin, and put in that value of 47 for our end taper. Okay, and we'll do this for the last bone here, the ball bone. Copy and paste. Should be fine. Alright, great. So now that this is done, we have our fins in place. Legs are looking good. Let's say we go ahead and work on that bone that's going to drive our toe bend. We want that directly driven, not by the ankle, like the original ball is, but by this ball bone, so it will function right. So let's go ahead and pick on our left side first. What we do is we select the bone, press Ctrl V so we can clone it. We don't want to instance it. Okay, we want full control over it. So we'll go ahead and choose copy instead. For the name, that's going to be BN, since it will be a part of our envelope. L ball 01, and we choose OK. Now from here, so we can very quickly select it, let's say we go ahead and turn off side fins. In this case, turn on the back fins. And then we'll go ahead and bring down its size. Okay, I'll just bring that to about 0.7. So now we can quickly select between both. We're now going to want to take this bone and link it to our original ball. So go to the link tool and link. Alright, now that that's done, the next step is actually going to be to make this a non-bone. Okay, I find it to be far easier to work with if it's just an object. And again, we can still envelope it to our character with no problems. Okay, now if we were to, with this selected, go ahead and freeze it, what that means is that it's going to be far easier for us to connect this into a custom parameter to control it. So let's go ahead and freeze the transformations on this, and what that does again is it zeroes out our translation values while preserving our position. Okay, it makes this bone essentially more animator friendly to work with. So I'll press Alt and the right mouse button, and we'll choose Freeze Transform. Choose Yes, and there we have it. Okay, so we can see that from looking at our new position list and also rotation list, we can see it has been frozen. Now a good test is to right click, again Alt right click, and choose Transform to 0. And what we should get is no offset because we've already frozen this. Okay, great. So there we have it. We have our ball bone established. Okay, and we're going to get some nice toe bending. Let's go ahead and take care of the right side now. We'll just select that. And again, we clone, Control V, make it a copy. This is going to be BN R ball 01. Choose OK. We'll go ahead and adjust its fins, turn off the sides, turn on the front in this case. Bring down the size to 0.7. Now that that's done, we want to link it to the ball. Once it's linked, we freeze transformations. So again, Alt right click, freeze transforms. Then we can test this. Alt right click, transform to 0. No offset, great. Then as we rotate it, it's going to move just fine. Excellent, excellent. Alright, so we have our toe bends established. We've also turned on fins and learned how well they work for us for getting that volume back in our character, for clearly reading that in case we were to ever hide our mesh. So that finishes off this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to start the process of working on foot controls and get those going so we can get things like our ball roll, toe roll, and heel roll, things like that.